Ooh. Oh shoot. Trash. I wanted to just do a laptop session today, but it looks like it may not work. It's gonna get all screwy. Okay. You're okay? Okay. Grab my phone. Pull up chat. Chat. Hold on. Doesn't recognize I'm live right now yet. Come on. Recognize. Content. Okay, hold on. I'm trying to figure out how to do this from my phone. Okay. Alright, let's just work on this. I think it's fine. Just gonna put my chat up there. I'm gonna turn on TV on low here so I can watch some TV while I stream maybe. Okay. What's going on, everybody? Welcome in for today. Okay, Working on our stock project. I want to write some scripts to do most of this functionality. So let's go ahead and get started here. Let me grab this blank and put it on my, let me sit on it. Pause. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to open up a directory here. We're going to call scripts. I'm going to open up a file. We're going to call plot volumes .py. We're going to have a okay, so what we're going to do is plot volumes.py is going to import models dot stock import stock, and then what we're going to do, this is plot volume, so we're going to say volumes equals to stock dot get average get volumes given the, so we're going to have to give a stock. I'm going to cramp on my foot. No. Okay. Maybe this like feng shui sit down session wasn't the best idea. I'm not ergonomic. Okay, so plot volumes. We're going to get our volumes. We're going to import into here. So what parameters should I set for this? Given the stock. So we need a stock. I'll go to, let's open up a new file here. Outside, inside of everything. We'll do info dot, we'll do data.json. We'll do the custom.json. So in here we're going to have a JSON object, which will be this, and how does this go again? Need an example of it's just a dictionary. So we'll say ticker, we'll say I'll just say ticker, and we'll say we'll go here, we'll say this will be single stock info, and we'll do a here, and we'll say ticker, and I'll do let's do SoFi. And then we'll hey, who be that? You're not gonna pull up the. Hey, what the heck? Hey, Chucky, thanks for the 10, bro. No way. That's crazy. Holy no, that's nuts. Wow. Wow, dude. Thanks for the love. Thanks for loving me. Thanks for loving me. Thanks for loving me. There we go. Thanks for loving me. Yeah, it was my birthday a few weeks ago. January 23rd was my birthday. We turned 27. Big. We're getting old. We got the gray hairs, boys. We got gray hairs. So this is gonna be I'll just say single stock, and then we're gonna say this is gonna be multiple stock. All right, we'll just say watch list. I don't know how I want to do this. We'll just say watch list, because that kind of infers like multiple stocks, I guess. I'm not really gonna use this one yet though, and then we'll just do. Can you do lists in JSON? I think you can. Can you do lists? Yeah, lists of addition. Yeah, okay, yeah, you can. Do you happen to have a pack of balloons like that? I do not. Sorry, dude. Those were just from the Dollar Tree. Okay. Appreciate the tenor though. That's really nice of you. That's really awesome, Chucky. That's super kind. Kind of I'm at a loss for words. Okay, so this is dumb. I'm just gonna go like this. What am I? I'm just gonna go. Okay, all right, let's just make some. We'll call this single. We'll say SoFi. We'll just as our example, and then we'll do watch list. Let's do a list, and let's put SoFi in here for now. Okay, and then let's just go into here and go from. We're in scripts, so we need to go dot. From let's rename this a little bit more descriptive. We'll say I don't know, start data. Yeah, so that is it. It's from start data, import single. So we'll get volumes of the single, and then we'll turn plot on as true. Oh, we have a period, so we're gonna set the period to the last 50 trading days, and then we're gonna do plot equal to true on this bad boy. Gotta think back to when we wrote these functions. So if we run this, so we have to go start data. So this is in scripts. We plot volumes. It's not in there. Would be dot. How would you access that in a parent? I don't think. No. Let's look. I want to import. So I did this start data into scripts. I did this. No option models. Oh shoot. Some models. Why can't I import this? I don't get the alls. Okay, so let's just do and then we need one here. So bad with import packages. Package imports, some trash. Volumes, this would be from. So now if we have this, better options is self-size and itself. So then if we say so from dust. So not getting this one. So from this doesn't make any sense. It's not this. It looks like this. Oh, we don't have that. Am I like trolling? Okay, so I'm trying to import from Start data import SQL. No module named start data. So if I get rid of this, will that pass that? No module named models. Doesn't make any sense. I don't have a folder, just the root. Okay, so I guess we'll do that. And it wants us to do models and scripts go in there. Start data goes in there. Scripts. Oh, this is so annoying. I hate package imports. So we have from better options models import stock. Better options. Scripts. Plot volumes. From better. No, this is still not working. What the heck? Okay, so we spent all the time trying to figure out how to do this part. It can't be hyphenated, that's why. There we go, I think we've got it. What's going on, everybody? I don't think I have the all chat pulled up. Let me pull up my Streamlabs. Okay, I've got chat open now. Okay, then we're gonna do from better options dot start data import single. Now we run no module name better options. BS. Oh, because I need to run it like this. Python dash m better options dot plot volumes. Oh. Okay, so we need to open up our virtual environment. There we go. And we'll say Python module, run as module, better options dot scripts dot plot volumes. Started no ticker YF ticker. What? Oh, I'm not actually making the stock. Oh shoot. Which is the stock? Okay, my bad. Okay, if that's the case, then what we'll do is in start data, we'll go from better options dot models dot stock import stock. We're gonna do single is equal to stock of quote SoFi. Cool, and now so now what we'll say is single got to get familiar back with Python. We haven't done it in a while. Yes, there we go. Finally, boys. Finally. Okay, cool. Looking like a fool over here. Okay, so SoFi's volume over the past 5 days has been quite weak. Over the past 50 days has been quite weak. Or quite all over the place. Got these 3 peaks going on here. We're coding Temple OS. What's going on, boys? All right, cool. So we got that to work. Nice. So then that plots our volumes over the past of the 50 trading days. And I'm gonna do from better options dot start data import period, and then I'm gonna say equals to the period here, and then in start data we're gonna have a period set up here, period, which is 50 integer, kind of like some macro setup as if we were in C. Bruh. I'm struggling here. Okay, there we go. We're back. Okay, so that does that. Let's go ahead and set up another script here. So this plots the volumes. This is just to plot volumes over the period. Let's set up another script here. Yeah, we'll do plot relative volumes .py. Similar setup to before here, but we're going to do get relative volumes given the period. I think it stays the same. Let me open up the stock model here that I wrote. Can't remember what I wrote. If trading days is greater than max period, trading days cannot see the max period. So this gives you computes the relative volumes for the past quote-unquote trading days using a rolling window of period. Okay, so right, this might be kind of difficult. Tim, your message got auto flagged. I had to show it. Or is this just the backwards cap giving Terry Davis vibes? No, this is not a new apartment. This is the same apartment. This is just the living room. There's boxes everywhere because we're moving out. So boys, moving out. We're getting out of here. Okay. So what this does, I remember now. Okay, so you give a number of trading days and you give a period. The period stays fixed as the rolling window, but the trading days, right? So it'll be over the last 50 days, and then the number of trading days will be how far back each reading of those 50 days we want to go. So usually you could probably just match it 50-50 or whatever period for those two examples. But you could customize it. So I want to have the past 50 days, but I want to get the relative volumes for the past 100 days for those 50 days, right? Each, right? So, which is kind of cool. So we'll set the trading days equal to, we'll say also the period, round digits. Okay, cool. And then we'll go relative volumes here. And then what we'll do is run our method here for plot. There we go. So there's the relative volume over the past 50 trading days with a rolling window equal to 50. Cool. So if you look, like over the relative volume has kind of been net positive over the past 50 days, trending upwards for an increase of close to now 1.5 relative volume. And we've been getting these spikes, and these spikes have been preceded by a little bit of a lag period, but then another move up in relative volume, which I wonder is indicative of a price movement. So I wonder back on like 130 what happened. So if we want to go ahead and do that, let's go ahead and pull up our other script for that. So we're gonna write out. We're just writing out our scripts, kind of pulling them out of our model that we wrote, so we can just kind of run them individually, like as a module in Python, rather than having to go in and run them in the class or whatever and manipulate it or make some sort of dummy file or whatever. So something a little bit more fixed and robust for the like testing. So plot. So this is going to be plot price. Right. So plot price. So similar process here. We'll import the period that we want to do, and then we'll do get past prices, and we'll see what it needs here. Trading days, which is probably just equal to the period, the number of trading days we want to get, and plot is equal to true. Do we want to add Fibonacci's to these? No. We'll leave it as this, and we'll say this is these are past prices. Right, and so if we run this module, plot prices, there's the price of SoFi over the past 50 trading days. So if we look, 130, we got a large influx of relative volume, but we're still seeing downwards trending. And we saw this reversal here, a pretty drastic reversal over this, Friday to Monday, and continuation over the weekend, which didn't sell off. So that volume could have caused this potential slow, maybe. I don't know. I kind of need to research more about what precedes volume, right? But just know that we got a spike in relative volume as the price has been trending downwards. Maybe as in, because volume doesn't have to be. Volume is just an indicator of net shares traded, right? So it just could be there's just more volatility over those course of those days, not necessarily meaning more buying, but maybe even more selling in that volatility. What Linux are you using, bruh? No Linux, bruh. Just it's I have that cropped out because I'm on my laptop, so the MacBook resolution's a little bit funky it's not perfect, it's a little bit different. It's not like 1920 by 1080 or whatever. It's a little bit off. It's a MacBook though, so I just have it cropped out. Thanks for coming in, Juan. Appreciate you being here. Okay, so that is plot prices. So then let's do one more, or a couple more. Let's do plot prices. And plot prices with, oh my gosh, hiccups. Man, this is brutal. Hiccups bad. Anybody know how to get rid of the hiccups? Let me get some water. Hopefully that'll do the trick. We giving this crisscross applesauce here. We're coating on coating on my footrest, on the couch footrest. Sitting on the ground here, getting a little feng shui. So this is prices with fib. Let's go take our prices function here, and we're gonna say Fibonacci is equal to true on this one. So if we run this one with fib, now we get this graph. So the Fibonacci's, as you can see, were pretty extended below the Fibonacci's over this period, which could indicate maybe like extreme like oversell. We could increase the period this Fibonacci price is using. I want to kind of look into how I wrote this. Okay, so I get past prices. If Fibonacci's, I call fib.itself.get Fibonacci for the same period of the trading days given. So my get Fibonacci's function I wrote takes in the history of the entire ticker, gets all the closing prices of that history, and then gets the dates of that history given that period in a list format. We have a high and a low. Right, and then we return those values. Okay. And so then get past prices. I give my data sets. So my data sets is first, it's a tuple of dates and closing prices is one data set to plot. And then my second data slot is dates and temp, and my temp is my Fibonacci value times the number of trading days, just to repeat it, to make it a straight horizontal line. For every fib and fibs. Okay, then I'm going to plot okay, it doesn't plot the maximum or minimum, which isn't that big of a deal, I guess. Should we plot the maximum and minimum in this Fibonacci plot? So it takes in the maximum and minimum here, and then over the period applies you the Fibonacci levels for the period in between, right? Which is kind of crazy because you do actually kind of hit some of these levels. So, you know, we are heavily extended below that lower Fibonacci for this period. Could, you know, heavily, you know, signal, you know, oversold. We're getting a move up here, continuation over the weekend, with volume picking up. It's interesting, right? This is how our ancestors used to code. Yeah, we're throwing back the roots to right, this is gonna be considered vintage code soon. Vintage code. Mid 2000s coding session. It's gonna be like the new trend. Okay, let's go ahead and look at what other models we can pull out of our stock here. Get average volume over the period. Just gives you the average over that volume, okay. So our get options returns the options chain for the given expiration dates and options type, call or put, quote. Converts each option to an option object and returns a dictionary keyed by expiration date. Man, thank goodness I wrote these type hints, or these doc strings. Woo! Good thing we wrote these. Okay, that's really nice. So the types call and put, right? And you give it an expiration dates list. So what I'm assuming is you get option expiration dates with this function. You feed it to the get options for those dates, and then that returns you the list of options, right? Well, there's no plot functionality in this, no. So then we call set default on the results dictionary, the expiration date and an empty list, and we'll append to the empty list the call option that we created here. Okay, got you. That's not that bad. So actually, I'm going to make this option, and then I'm going to make this option, because it is not just a call, it can be a put too, right? Options chain date, expiration date. Is this getting a call or a put? So if option type, not an option types. I'm kind of confused. So we have the option type that we're making sure is a call or a put, or we raise the error. Oh, so you give either or, and it saves all of them, and just that type. Okay. Oh no, because this is option stock calls. Um. Hmm. So we're gonna do. If option type equal to quote call, right, we're gonna do is there a way to do this dynamically? I know that there is. I'm going to ask because I want to get some feedback here. Is there a way to insert the var dynamically for the put option rather than rewriting the whole object creation? Build a dicta comment fields, override anything that differs, use quark to reconstruct the object. Oh, okay. Oh, got you. So we'll just get the data frame. So here, how about we say data frame type is equal to option dot options. Oh, that's where the options come from. No. So we have to say say df type equals to options dot calls if underscore if option type is equal to quote call else option dot puts, and then we'll say for every row in the df type iter rows, right, we'll do this. So now that'll get either the call or the option, or the call or the put. We don't have to rewrite this whole option creation instantiation object or whatever. We can just use that simple logic there. Cool. We just needed to save that. I didn't really need to look that up. I could have figured that out. Come on, Mike. You use Y Finance. Yeah, this is just using Y Finance for now. And then if we ever want to maybe expand out to using a more reliable service or more quicker response service for live data, we can maybe switch it up by just changing out some of these stock, wherever right now we're just using just some properties to get these prices pulling from Y Finance, and then in our functions pulling those properties. So all we have to do is just change the property rather than all the other functions. So yeah, if we wanted to, we can just import a different source of where we're getting the information here, and then change that over potentially. So this gives us an option which has open interest, implied volatility in the money last trade, symbol, expiration date, option type, implied volatility. Do options have volume? Yes, they do, but I'm not saving it here. Yes, I am. Volume 0 if volume. If volume not equal to volume, self.volume equals to 0. What did I write that for? What? Why did I write that? If volume not equal to volume, self-volume equals to 0. That makes no sense. I don't know why I have that. I really don't. I really don't know why I have that. Maybe it helped with like the nan that I was getting, the NA. Okay. So let's go back to our stuff here. Okay, so now we're gonna do, so we're plotting prices, plotting volumes, plotting relative values. We need to, I want to next plot option volumes. Okay, so we're going to say and we could set the puts to negative value and plot on the same potentially, which would be fun. So maybe that's what we'll wrap it up for today with. So let's go here. We have get options, which is just returning back to us a results of the options we wanted, the option type given a expiration date and the option. Okay. Hey, Skewy, what's going on? Oh, no, not Siri. Okay, so then if we have this gets our options. Okay, so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to write a script. Plot option volumes. Plot option plot option volumes, right, .py. We're going to import, or we're going to say from better options dot start data import and then what we'll do is we'll call option expirations equals to stock.get option expiration dates for the limit of, let's say, optionally limited to so the previous 5 days of options. Date. So I go by date in the x-axis, and the y-axis I do strike price. So I do, in the x-axis I do strike price. Yeah, so I want to make a 3-dimensional graph here where the x-axis is going to be the expiration dates. The y-axis will be the strike prices. And the z let me rephrase, I'm sorry. So the Z goes into the plane. So the x-axis will be the expiration dates. The y-axis will be the strike prices. And the z-axis will be the statistic of whatever the option that we're trying to evaluate on, right? And we can have the calls be in the positive direction for that statistic. And we can have the puts be in the negative direction for that statistic. So let me see if I can draw this out for you guys, how I'm envisioning this. So think of a graph. Drawing this on a trackpad, so bear with me here. Think of a graph, right? And then it has a z direction. You can kind of see by the dash line. Maybe not like that much. Right. Kind of has this z direction. Oh my gosh, that's so bad. I'll go like this and I'll get an eraser. I'll just do this. Right. And so like think of like, I don't know, like this book, right? This book. I got a cramp in my foot. I can't sit like this, you guys. I'm getting cramps in my foot. So think about like this book, where you have expiration dates on this edge, this X edge. On this Z edge that goes into me, you have strike prices. So think about actually that the X is in the middle of the book and the Z is in the middle of the book. The Y can travel both positively and negatively up and down from the median of the page, right? From the middle of the book, the Y goes positive and negative. So I'm wondering if we can measure a statistic on the option in that space, right, in some sort of plot, and then we could use some sort of indicator for the current price to show you like the heat map of the option, basically, of the whole chain, which could be kind of cool. Need to figure that out though. Jeez Louise. Oh gosh. Yeah. So this gets option expiration dates. Then we're gonna take stock dot get options for the option expiration dates. And we're going to say the type is going to be call. These are going to be the options, or the call options. Right? And then if we say for date and option in call options dot items, we can print, not F, we can print the date and the option. we can run this. So this will be, we haven't plotted anything yet, but plot option volumes. And there we go. So that gave us, right, for an expiration date of 9/18/2026. We can go further up here to get closer ones. Yeah, 2/27/2026. We have a list of all the option objects that for that date. So let me go back to that. Return converts each option to an option and returns a dictionary and a value. And a value of a list of option objects that correspond to the okay, something like that. Yeah, 3D graphs, right? So I wanted to know like if there's anything more interactive than Matplotlib, like something that we can like maybe in C. We should write it in C. Like, should we start it? Should we try that slow? Should we write the graph in C so we can like maybe like turn it around and look at it in three-dimensional space? Maybe start getting into graphics or something. Maybe we'll have to swap over to the Windows desktop and see if we can code and start doing that. What do you think? Oh. Because we have 3 points of data here. We have an option. Every option has an expiration date. We need to match 2 pieces of data to 1 piece of data, meaning we need to match the option's statistic to its strike price and expiration date. Right? Graphics is a rabbit hole. Well, we might want to dive in. I'm about to dive in. All right, y'all. Cool. This was a good little start to continue on with this project. Let's go ahead and push up what we got so far. Commit. Okay. Nice. That seems pretty good. All right, I want to think about what I'm going to use for that model, and see where we want to go from there. Because I want to start getting into more options data analysis and see if we can maybe come up with some cool stuff for modeling the data. Because there's not a lot of stuff out there for options data. Anywho, thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate you guys joining me. This was a really awesome stream. Getting back into Python, kind of touching back to our roots. I know we're taking a little break from C today, but we'll be back on that probably tomorrow. Thanks so much for being here, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Make sure you subscribe, like, and join the Discord. Peace out, guys.